Hey guys, what's going on? Kyleball13 here. I thought I'd do a fun video of kind of like strategy, competitive wise. Right now, this is a search and destroy public match. It's not like an actual competitive match, so technically it should be 6-on-6. But I mean, people are leaving and joining, and that's one of the issues I want to talk about as well. When you're trying to play search and destroy publicly. Right now, I'm going to kind of comment on what I'm doing on the screen and kind of talk about the strategies that are going through my head while I'm playing, because it's hard to do when you're actually playing, like, tell you what I'm doing, especially when I'm focusing so hard, like search and destroy. So right now, yeah, it seems I'm camping or whatever, but really, we're on offense and we're trying to plant. So I'm trying to figure out, first of all, I hadn't played search and destroy on this map. So I'm trying to figure out where these guys are at, where people usually camp, what usually happens. As you can see, I have a really slow class on. I don't even have sleight of hand on. I have the AK, and I have perks that'll help me kind of more defensively. I try not to use things that are banned by MLG, even though in public matches people use such things like LMGs and tracker sights and IEDs. You'll see a couple IEDs that I get really pissed off at in this video. So here I am playing some defense now that we planted the bomb. I'm the only one left at this point, so I'm playing a little bit more aggressively. I'm chilling near the spot because, you know, people hop in there, especially on pubs. They'll hop in and try to do the secretive little diffuse, so you have no idea sometimes. So especially in pubs, I like to stay close. I like to check on the bomb to make sure they're not laying there. And here you'll see I just saw the corner of my eye, I saw him. And that's the key. I mean, during that whole round right there, yeah, I was kind of camping, but I was more patrolling. I was checking lines of sight, and I was just watching for people because I don't know how this map plays right away. But eventually you'll see I get a little bit more aggressive and I change classes. There I just saw somebody run across the screen, but I didn't go for them and I didn't shoot because it wouldn't be a smart challenge, although I die soon anyways. But I figured it wouldn't be a smart challenge. So there I see a teammate die. I know he's over there. I still didn't want to challenge him yet. And then I see another teammate die, and I was like, all right, screw it. I got to get this kid. And I go at the horrible wrong time because there he is right behind me. Imagine that. That's CoD for you. You're also going to notice I cut out the end rounds, especially after I die. I show you that I die, but I just like to cut it out because otherwise the video would be like 10 minutes long. So I go to the same spot here. We're still going for the camp, but I changed classes. I changed to a little bit quicker, more aggressive class. I really like the Honey Badger. It shoots nice and fast, and it's still silent. I would like to point out, though, that none of the pros use silented weapons because everything they do is pretty down to a science, and so they know exactly what's going on. But when you're playing in pubs with people, you don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they could do random strategies. You have no idea. There, I picked up 2 people there. Makes you feel, actually maybe that was 3. Yeah, that was 3 people. It makes you feel pretty good when you take out half a team. So I'm running around with my silented weapon. And if I was playing competitively with actual other competitive people and there's kind of actual strategy to the game, I probably wouldn't be using a silented weapon. There's one of the IEDs right there. IEDs are actually banned, and I got hit by one, and that guy knew exactly where I was, and he had a sniper and took me out. And so IEDs are just bad manner, so I suggest you try not to use them. It's so cheap. I mean, later on you'll see why I really was pissed off about ID. And here I wanted this kid dead pretty bad. He was laying down. So I played pretty good this match. I didn't really have much of a team. No offense to whoever was playing with me, but it's really hard to play, especially public matches, when you don't have people that can hold their own with you. And that's why I changed to this class, because it's much more of a solo class. It's much more of a, I can push and I can chill around and do whatever I want. But at the same time, I can defend and be quiet and silent. So here, I'm not the only one left yet, but I'm trying to hunt this kid down. And he planted it right behind me, and guess what? He planted an IED right after he planted. You know, that's not how you play. You know, it's just, that's so cheap. It's ridiculous. You can't even see it. So I was going in. What was happening is I saw him, and he was running away, right? So I went in for one of those sneaky diffuses that were just happen right away and that he wouldn't even expect. And you know what? It would have worked because I think there was only 2 guys left that round. But he planted an IED, and so I died. Here we're on defense now, obviously, so a little bit more defensive. Kind of hanging out, looking around. You really got to check your lines of sight, especially this map. It's so open in the middle; it gets really tricky. If you check the scoreboard a lot, and there's a little skull next to a player's name. I don't know if you knew this or not, but you could see if they're dead or not. And I like to check that because when a team knows they're up a certain amount of players, they might play a little bit more aggressively. There again was bad timing. I entered a building when I probably shouldn't have, and a guy came up behind me and took me out. But I think this is the final round. This is 3-2. We do end up losing this game, not to tell you guys exactly what's happening, but we do end up losing. But it's a good ending, and it was a good game for me, so I wanted to keep it and show you guys just kind of how I play Search and Destroy. Later on, when my Evolve clan gets together here, and we're looking for 2 more members. So after that, I'll be posting more actual strategy of a competitive team. But this is just a public match. Here you'll see I'm checking all my lines of sight again, and then here I was told that I was the last player alive. So I checked the scoreboard, and it's 1v4. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh boy, 1v4. Here we go. So I'm running around, and I decided to come around the back end because I figured it might be a little bit safer. And I take one kid out because he's laying. There he is. And then I go in for the sneaky defuse, and I didn't even look up to see that kid. But it was a good game overall. I played well. I thought I did as best I could. Again, I didn't have the best team in the world. So if you guys enjoyed and want to see more of stuff like this, let me know. Hit like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video, guys.